So, some of you have asked me to make a Blender 3D modeling tutorial, and personally I feel like I've already really shared pretty much all of my best tricks in the old Blender series, but for the next game project I found myself needing to create some new 3D assets, and while I was doing this, I figured I might as well document and show you what that 3D modeling process looks like. So here's what we're doing today. I want to create some nice looking bullet shell ejection particles. When you fire the gun, an empty shell is supposed to come out. That's what we're trying to make. Because the ones that I've found for free in Lyra didn't really quite cut it for me, and then the other ones that looked a little bit better really only included basic shells like 223 and 9mm, and I wanted to have a lot more variety for the kinds of bullets that I can fire in my game. So we are taking matters into our own hands, and I decided to just make my own bullet pack exactly the way I wanted, the style I wanted, the poly count I wanted, with all the details, UVs, and textures that I wanted. So as all good modeling projects do, first thing you do is collect your references. For this specific video, we will be doing a 9mm cartridge, so I'm just going to collect those references, and once you have your game plan, start with the base shape that most similarly resembles our 3D goals. In our case, that would clearly be a cylinder. We'll just give it 18 sides, and for simplicity's sake, we'll just use a auto smooth shading. Then we drag the references straight into Blender, adjust the size of it however you need, and then adjust the scale of your object to fit the main area of your reference. Then we'll use the loop tool and then make cuts along the areas that the shape of the bullet is supposed to change. And if we need to make it skinny or fat in specific areas, we can hold Alt and left click to grab the entire loop, and then press S to scale them bigger or smaller. And I like to get a little exact here, so if you see me zooming in really close, it's just the artist in me being really picky, but it's not really necessary. And once we got the main part done, we can go ahead and add the subdivision modifier, and this is only for the high poly bake. In the game, the only model we're going to export is the low poly, but the texture guy needs these subdivided models so he can bake those nice high poly shadows onto the low poly. However, before we get to those, let's go ahead and duplicate the mesh so we can create the head of the bullet, make sure it's the right size, and once again use the loop tool to cut segments to give us that nice curve. Now that we got the general shape, personally I remember the bullet looking a little bit more rounded up here, kinda like this, so I'm gonna adjust the shape to fit this image instead. And here's a trick. When it comes to closing these parts at the end of the cylinder, I have found it really helps the UV and texturing process if you delete the face here. We can hold Alt and left click to grab the entire loop, and then press E to extrude, and S to scale things down so the hole is as small as possible. And what this allows us to do is keep the topology in nice clean quads, because we have UV add-ons that can make our life a lot easier if we just keep perfect quad topology. I know this doesn't make sense right now, but trust me, you will understand when we get to the UV process later on. For now, we'll just work on the main parts of the bullets, so we need to make a little hole for it here, and so we're going to inset the faces to get the shape we want. And then to control the subdivision a little bit more precisely, we're going to hold Alt and left click the loops, and if you press N, a menu on the right will pop up, and if you change the mean crease, it will sharpen the angle of the subdivision. And when we get to the bottom, we can actually partially crease it, because honestly I think it looks a little bit better if we have a little bit of smoothness on the edges. And when we get to the very bottom, we will inset faces like this, make a few more loop cuts, then raise a small indentation here to get that shape we're looking for. Okay, now it's almost done, but remember how we deleted the end gun face at the end of the cylinder? Well, we're gonna do the same thing down here. Just scale it really small. And now we want this bullet to be scaled correctly to its real life counterpart. So something cool that you can do in Blender is if you Shift A and get any generic shape you want, I just picked a cube, and then figure out how big something needs to be. In my case, the bullet needs to be exactly 0.2969 millimeters. So if I click on the cube's dimension, I can actually go down and set it to exactly that, and now I just need to scale the bullet so that it's exactly that same size. Which means if we export this object to Unreal 5, it will be exactly 0.29 millimeters tall, the way it should be, so it'll fit into the guns the way we need. Okay, now we need to create the UVs, so we'll just make a new window over here, then set it to the UV mode, and remember how we kept the topology really clean with quads? Well, because of that, if we use a UV add-on like Mio, we can basically automatically generate the UVs. If you don't have Mio, you can find it in the pinned comment. Once you have it, you just go to the editor, preferences, add-ons, and install it, and it will show up in the UV editor on the right over here. And from this point, if you draw seams along the back of the bullet for both of the parts and press U to unwrap it, you will see something like this. Now from here, if we select all while we are in face mode and then go to Mio and Gridify, it will automatically just straighten everything out like so. Now we just want to make sure that everything is oriented correctly so that the faces on the top are actually the faces on the top. And then we just want to make sure that everything is centered exactly in the middle just right. Once the UVs are set, just scale them together to take up as much of the UV space as possible, and from this point, you're basically done. We'll want to turn off the modifiers and export the low poly with the following settings. Then we'll want to turn the modifiers on and export the high polys the same way. Once you've done all that, it's basically the texture guy's job now. Personally, I just repeated the same process for every type of bullet that I plan to use in my game, and those bullets were the 9mm, 12 gauge slug, 22 long, 44 mag, 50 cal, 300 blackout, 223 for the AR, and 7.62 for the AK-47. The only exception to this rule were the shotgun spent casings, and that's because a spent shotgun shell looks really different from an unspent shell, and it really needed its own custom 3D model. Now, I have some recommendations for things that you should do before you call things done and you send the models for texturing. 1. Organize your Blender file before you send it. Put things in labeled collections so that they are easy to see. Hopefully it won't be necessary for the texture guy to go in and edit your work, but if they do, it's nice when they can easily navigate and understand what the hell you were trying to do. Also, be sure to include and organize all of your reference photos so that they know exactly what kind of color and texture details you want them to make. This reduces the risk of making things the wrong color or the wrong material, and it just makes everything easier for everyone. Lastly, I recommend preemptively exporting all of the low poly versions of the model and the high poly versions of the models preemptively so that the texture guy does not have to waste his time exporting everything himself. Ideally, you want the texture guy to just receive the zip file and then immediately start getting to work. Anything that takes his time away from texturing is probably something that you as the modeler should have done ahead of time. Now, since this was a 3D modeling tutorial and not a texturing tutorial, I won't go over how to texture the bullets here, but if you're interested in how they were textured and you want to learn how to do it, I have a completely free texturing playlist that shows you everything about 3D texturing for professional UE5 projects. I'll leave a link to that in the pinned comment. However, I am trying to get into the habit of recording my work while I'm doing it, and so those time-lapse videos will be available to watch for all of the members on YouTube. We did happen to record a chunk of the texturing process for this asset pack, so if you are a member, you can see the texturing done there. But the techniques are all from the texturing playlist. We use Substance Painter to texture our 3D models, and yes, I hate Adobe too, but the perpetual one-time purchase license is actually worth it, and it really makes texturing super fast and super easy. So if you want to see how that works, check out the pinned comment. And of course, if you are a patron member of the $5 tier and above, you get the bullet pack for free. For everyone else, you can grab it directly from my Patreon for $20, or if you prefer to grab it from ArtStation or the Fab Market, you can do that too. These textures were done in 2 phases. I kinda have an intern that I'm training, so he did the first pass of the bullet textures, and once he did the initial pass, we had our usual pro texture guy go over and make sure all the details were properly drawn and cleanly exported. Originally, I was going to have just one texture for both the spent and unspent casings, but my texture guy is actually a bit of a gun enthusiast from the South who shoots at the range often, and he straight up told me,
"Royal, spent casings look really different from unspent casings. They really shouldn't use the same textures."
Then he showed me an image, and then I concluded that this was probably just a ploy for him to trick me into paying him twice, but I also concluded that he was correct. So in our texture pack, each bullet has 2 separate sets of textures, one for spent and one for unspent. And honestly, after all of this, I'm pretty proud of this pack. It's everything I ever wanted from my own shooting games in terms of quality and detail. But my favorite part about this texture pack is that they are actually properly sized the same way they are in real life. Which means when you import them into Unreal 5 for your game, if your characters are using real-sized guns, these bullets will fit perfectly in without the need to scale the bullets manually. And now you know how every single one of these bullets was made, just in case you want to make your own. Hope that helps, and as always, hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you around.